These are some aesthetic hairstyles for brown men, starting off with the mullet. We're not going for a normal mullet here. We want this kind of like modern mullet burst fade kind of vibe. So what you're going to do when you ask your barber is you want to ask for a burst fade, where they fade just around here, and they don't cut the back. You don't want to let the back grow too long, as this gives a kind of overgrown, disheveled look, and it's not the kind of modern mullet style that we're going for. This will look particularly good if your hair is curly, and also you need to make sure you don't let the top grow too long as well as the back, because you want to also keep it in sort of balance. To style the top, you're going to want to either use a texturizing powder or a matte wax. This will help you kind of style it and make it a bit messy without looking too disheveled and too all over the place. Lastly, pair this with a nice clean shaven look or a well groomed beard. And this really helps complement the look with a kind of messier, more kind of alternative top and a more formal beard. If you have completely straight hair, I don't know if I'd recommend this one to you, but you're definitely going to want to try the last hairstyle in this video. My next recommendation is going to be a curly low taper fade. When your hair is curlier, a lot of the time it can look a bit messy, so the low taper fade is a nice way of cleaning up the look while still having this nice curly haired look. This does mean you can let your hair grow out a little bit, but this doesn't mean you can get away with not styling it. For this, I recommend using either a curling cream or a pomade to help style this look. Not only do we want to define your curls, but we also want to give it a level of flexibility where you can style it and push it in the way you want to keep it, and these products will help it stay like that. The biggest thing with this one is that it is going to take some experimentation to find what products and what style works best for you. But if you do this, then I promise this hairstyle can look really good on you. The next one is going to be a buzz cut or a crew cut. This only works if you have really good facial bone structure. This is good for either straight or curly hair. However, I'd only recommend it if you know you have thick hair. If you've got thinner hair, a lot of the time what we will find will happen is that when you buzz your hair, it's going to still look thin, and it won't give off that desired look. But yeah, you also need to be lean on top of this to help display your good bone structure. But if you feel like you meet all this criteria, then I think the buzz cut or a crew cut style of haircut will be perfect for you. Lastly, not to forget, specifically for the buzz cut, you need to make sure you've got a very good hairline. Otherwise, when you buzz your hairline will be exposed. And if it's not good, then this will detract from the look. So this also means not having a massive forehead. Next up is the flow. This works best for wavy hair, but I also think it can work with curly hair and straight hair. You just need to probably put a bit more time into it to make it work for you. You're going to want to use a pomade or a matte wax to help style your hair and push it back. This not only will help push it back, but will also help give it structure as well for when you want to style it. Another big thing with this one is you want to make sure when you're drying your hair, you dry it backwards, so that when you go to style it, you're not fighting against it and you don't need to re-wet it to style it. For this haircut, I 100% recommend going to a hairdresser instead of a barber. Barbers generally are very good at the shorter haircuts. With this being a longer men's haircut, I think the hairdresser is definitely the way to go. My last recommendation is going to be the messy quiff. This is for guys who need to be a bit more professional, and also works well for guys with straighter hair. The important thing here is that we don't do it in such a kind of structured quiff way that gives the impression of that very kind of stereotypical brown man haircut. This goes well with a fade if that's your kind of style. If not, this haircut also looks very good with just the shorter sides. This does depend on your face shape though, so if you've got a rounder face, then you're going to go shorter on the sides and keep the top longer to elongate your face. If not, then you want to have longer sides to kind of round out your face. When styling this style, use a matte clay and a texturizing powder to help give that messy look and not make it look too structured and too kind of manicured. You're going to want to push it back and then kind of mess it up to help give it that more relaxed, lived-in look, while hopefully still looking very professional. These are all my recommendations for haircuts for brown guys. Hopefully this video has helped you. If it has, please do subscribe. And on that note, I'd like to thank you for watching, and goodbye.